What if I told you that one trade, just one move, could flip the Falcons' entire season upside down? What if everything you hated about last year, the blown leads, the soft run defense, the broken promises, could finally be fixed? Atlanta is standing at the edge of something massive. And the question now is, will they leap or fall? Something's different in Flowery Branch this summer. You can feel it. There's tension in the air, and not the bad kind. It's the kind that comes before something big happens. Falcons fans know this feeling. It's that strange mix of hope, anger, and please don't screw this up again. After finishing the 2024 season at a frustrating 7-10, it's clear this team is stuck in the middle. And the defense? Flat out embarrassing. Atlanta ranked 26th in the league in run defense. Teams didn't just run on us, they walked through us. It wasn't football. It was a free pass. And now, the front office has had enough. General Manager Terry Fontino and head coach Raheem Morris aren't here to play it safe anymore. They've already made it clear, changes are coming, and they're going to be aggressive. The offense, led by Kirk Cousins and the electric rookie RB Bijan Robinson, gave us glimpses of what's possible. But until the defense gets real, until it gets nasty, this team won't go anywhere. Enter the rumor that has Falcons fans wide awake. Shelby Harris. That's the name making noise across the league right now. A veteran defensive tackle from the Cleveland Browns, known for wrecking run plays and anchoring the line with grit. He's not flashy, not a Pro Bowl poster boy, but he's a warrior. The kind of guy who doesn't just tackle, he hurts your rhythm. At 33, Harris is no rookie, but his 2024 numbers, 37 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and countless disrupted lanes, show he still plays like one. More importantly, Cleveland's defensive line is getting younger, stronger, and deeper. They've got young studs like Mike Hall Jr. and Mason Graham coming up fast. That means Harris could be on the trade block, and Atlanta is listening. This could be the exact type of move Atlanta needs. Someone who brings leadership, toughness, and no-nonsense football to a defense that's lacked identity for years. Harris might not solve every problem, but he could change the tone. And right now, tone matters. This move wouldn't just fill a hole, it would send a message. Atlanta is done being soft. Done being the team people laugh at in the fourth quarter. And done watching other NFC South teams pass them by. If the Falcons pull this off, it might just be the first domino in a whole new era. Falcons Nation, I want to hear from you. If this Harris trade goes down, does it change your confidence in this defense? Drop a comment with your prediction. How many wins do we get if the defense finally shows up? And more importantly, do you believe this is the year we finally take the South back? There's a storm coming to Atlanta's defense, and at the center of it could be one man, Shelby Harris. Right now, the Falcons have a solid anchor in Grady Jarrett. He's been a warrior for this team, fighting through double teams and giving everything he has. But let's be honest, he can't do it alone anymore. The depth around him has been thin, too thin. And the result? A run defense that collapsed far too often. Enter Shelby Harris. He's not just a big body who plugs holes. He's a battle-tested leader, a guy who's been deep into the playoffs with teams like Denver and Seattle. He knows how to win. He knows what toughness looks like. And he knows how to bring that grit into a young, hungry locker room. Picture this. Harris lined up next to Jarrett. Two brick walls in the middle of the line. Two veterans who refuse to be pushed around. Now imagine Troy Anderson flying in behind them, finally free to attack instead of clean up missed tackles. That's not just improvement. That's transformation. Let's look at the numbers. In 2024, Atlanta gave up a brutal 137.2 rushing yards per game, one of the worst marks in the league. Teams like the Saints and Buccaneers didn't just move the chains, they embarrassed us. Over and over. Shelby Harris can stop that bleeding. At 6'2" and 288 pounds, He's built like a cinder block and plays like one too. He eats up double teams and holds his ground. That kind of toughness would let Jarrett breathe again, no more carrying the line alone. And what does that do to an offense? It forces chaos. Stack the box, and Cousins will find his targets. Play light, and Bijan Robinson will run wild. Harris helps both sides of the ball, even if he never touches it. But it's not just about stats. It's about leadership. The Falcons' defense is full of young talent still finding its voice. Guys like Arnold Ebiketie and Dungelo Malone have flashes, but they need a mentor. Someone who's been there. Harris has. He's been through playoff battles. He's played in pressure cookers. And every locker room he's touched speaks about his work ethic, his toughness, and his ability to lift the guys around him. Raheem Morris wants to build a new culture in Atlanta, a culture of belief, of accountability, of winning. Harris fits that mission perfectly. He doesn't just plug a hole. He helps build a foundation. Now let's talk about the timing and why this might be the smartest move Atlanta could make right now. The 2025 NFL Draft is right around the corner. Atlanta holds the overall pick. Sure, they could take a young defensive tackle like Michigan's Kenneth Grant. He's talented, no doubt. But rookies take time. Harris is ready now. If Atlanta wants to compete this season, not 2 years from now, this is the move. And here's the best part. Harris wouldn't cost a fortune. No need to give up a first or second rounder. The Browns are stacked with young talent and might move him for a mid or late round pick. That's a bargain. But let's be real for a second. There are risks. Harris is 33. He's in the final year of a 2-year, $7 million deal. That means this could be a 1-year rental unless Atlanta extends him. Are the Falcons okay with that? Should they invest in a veteran knowing they still need to plan for the long-term future? And even though Harris isn't a star, Cleveland knows his value. They could ask for more than we want to pay, maybe a mid-round pick or more. So the big question is this worth it? Is one season of Shelby Harris enough to fix this defense and push the Falcons into playoff contention? Or is it a short-term patch on a long-term rebuild? What do you think, Falcons Nation? Is Shelby Harris the final piece to the puzzle, or is it too late for a short-term fix? Would you trade a 4th-round pick for him right now? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, drop your dream trade target. Let's build the 2025 Falcons together. Every decision in the NFL comes down to this: risk versus reward. And right now, Atlanta is standing at a crossroads. On one side, a safe route. Keep all your draft picks, protect your future, and hope the young guys grow fast enough. On the other, a bold move. Trade for Shelby Harris and try to win right now. But is it worth it? Let's talk about the cost. The Browns won't ask for a king's ransom. This isn't a first-round blockbuster. Think more like a 4th or 5th-round pick, maybe even a young backup player who's still learning the ropes. Atlanta could package someone like a developmental offensive lineman or an extra linebacker and get the deal done. On the surface, that's a small price. But with 22 Falcons players hitting free agency in 2025, every pick matters. This roster still has holes: quarterback depth, edge rusher help, more bodies on the D-line. And with key players like Kyle Pitts and Drake London due for extensions soon, cap space will shrink fast. So the question isn't just, can we trade for Harris? It's, should we? Now let's talk about fit, because it's not just about plugging in a body and hoping for the best. Under new defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake, Atlanta runs a 3-4 scheme. It's a system that demands versatility. Defensive linemen have to control multiple gaps, shift with motion, and adjust on the fly. It's complex, physical, and mentally taxing. Good news? Harris has done this before. He's played in both 3-4 and 4-3 systems, and he's thrived in both. His specialty is stopping the run, locking down lanes and forcing offenses to abandon the ground game. But he's not a high-level pass rusher. That's just not who he is. So the concern becomes this. Does Harris offer enough value on third down? Can he stay on the field when it's time to rush the passer, or will he become a part-time player? These are fair questions, but none of them are deal breakers. Because the Falcons don't need Harris to be Superman. They need him to be the guy who fixes their most glaring weakness, run defense, and helps anchor a young unit that's still learning how to win. Let's talk history. In 2023, the Eagles picked up Contavious Street, a rotational lineman with a similar profile to Harris, for a sixth-round pick. Based on that, Cleveland might want a fourth or a bundle of late-round picks. Maybe Atlanta adds in a young player to balance the scale. Either way, it's a doable trade. But here's what makes it tough. Context. This team is not complete. The secondary needs help. The edge rush is still inconsistent. And Kirk Cousins' contract is eating up space that could be used to extend young stars. So if the Falcons go all in on Harris, what does it mean for the rest of the team? That's the million-dollar question. Now imagine this. It's Week 5. Atlanta is playing the Eagles, one of the most run-heavy teams in the NFL. Last year, that game would have been a disaster. But this time, it's different. Grady Jarrett and Shelby Harris are plugging every gap. Troy Anderson is flying around untouched. The Eagles are forced to throw early, and the Falcons control the tempo from the first whistle. Atlanta's run defense jumps from 26th in the league to top 15. Suddenly, this team is competitive against anyone. Suddenly, they're winning the ugly games, the kind you have to win to make the playoffs. That's what makes the gamble tempting. Harris might only be here for a year. But if that year ends in a postseason run, wasn't it worth it? The real question. Should Atlanta trade for Shelby Harris? He's not a long-term answer. But maybe that's okay. Maybe, just maybe, he's the missing link, the leader, the run stopper, the voice that takes this defense from average to dangerous. A one-year bridge to something bigger. Or maybe the price is too steep for a team still piecing together its future. What do you think, Falcons fans? Would you pull the trigger on this trade? Or is it time to stay patient, protect the picks, and keep building slow? Drop your take in the comments, and let's figure out how close we really are to turning the corner. This is more than just a trade rumor. This is a moment, a decision point, a chance to shape what kind of team the Falcons want to be, right now, because there is another path. Instead of trading for a 33-year-old veteran like Shelby Harris, the Falcons could stay young. They could use their draft picks to chase raw, hungry talent, guys with years ahead of them, players who grow with the franchise, not just plug holes for a season. And maybe that's the smarter long-term play. There are going to be promising edge rushers and versatile linemen in both free agency and the upcoming draft. Names with upside. Young players with fire in their chest and something to prove. And those players could offer more than a one-year rental. They could be the next Grady Jarrett, the next cornerstone. But here's where it gets complicated and exciting, because the Shelby Harris rumor forces every Falcons fan to dream out loud. Imagine this defense with Harris anchoring the middle, Jarrett and Harris forming a wall, young linebackers flying free, no longer having to fight through traffic. Suddenly, we're not just surviving in the NFC South, we're attacking. Could this be the move that finally gets Atlanta back to the playoffs? It's been 7 long years since Falcons fans tasted postseason football. 7 years of maybe next time. 7 years of flashes, but no finish. And now, there's a door open. Not wide, but cracked. And Harris might be the key to kick it down. So here's the question, Falcons Nation. Do you push all your chips in for a proven leader who fixes your biggest weakness? Or do you hold the line, bet on youth, and keep building brick by brick? This isn't just a front office question. This is your team. your voice, your decision. Because whether it's Harris or a rookie, whether it's now or later, one thing is certain. This team is close. Closer than it's been in years. So let's hear it from the ones who care most. Drop your take in the comments. Would you make the trade for Shelby Harris? Or are you riding with the draft and trusting the youth movement? The debate starts now. And the road to the playoffs? It's waiting. Let's go, Falcons!